Okay. So we are live for the IGTL podcast. Do you remember this before it stopped happening? Anyway, so we've got a huge guest list today. We've got, you might have heard half of them already. We've got Reciter. We've got Ada.
I just want to say Brexit means Brexit.
We've got Squeakers.
Welcome.
We've got Indecisi, or as Com called him on the stream. As Com called him on the stream, Indecisi. We've got Raiden.
Shut up, weeb!
That's
Hello.
not Raiden. And Vitman G.
Hello.
Alright, we're all present and accounted for. So season 5 then, let's review, shall we? What happened in season 5?
Crash
I
bang
got more
wallet.
chances to win.
Let's just say it started with a bang.
Yeah, there is that.
Crash bang wallet.
Okay, you're all speaking over the top of each other, brilliant. Right. Hello, the lawyer. I think that's me, isn't it? Yeah.
That is me.
Yeah. Welcome. So this is the season 5 review. So, where do we begin reviewing season 5? Well, let's begin at the beginning. Obviously.
When it all starts with a bang.
Literally
Yeah,
all started with a bang. So let's talk about Fuji. It's a mountain in Japan. And there we go.
And
Right, so now,
it's
Still flying.
now we've spoken about Fuji.
It's actually Jake's favourite mountain in Japan.
When on the first video, when Robbo said Tay's just been sent to a part of Japan, I just suddenly thought of Tay being teleported to Suzuka.
Well, he did race in Suzuka and he got third, so well, that's jumping a bit ahead. Anyone else like to comment on Fuji?
Can we just skip Fuji, please?
Any other comments on Fuji? I mean, Vitman G, you won that race. Yay.
Yeah, which became a bit of a pattern.
Yeah.
This is in
Comments
case
on
you.
Fuji, crazy penalty.
Sorry, I dropped my rope.
Would be one comment. Other than that, I think it's one of the only races where the two-stop actually won the race.
Yeah, I think so.
Other than that, and Suzuka. But yeah,
Because obviously it's quite a big power track with a massive back straight on it in the first few sectors, so imagine the fuel not being particularly effective.
I think Dragon Trail, the two-stop one as well, but I think we can cover that a bit later on.
We'll get to that eventually. Dragon Trail. Right, okay, so Fuji then. All I really remember is I went around the outside of Foxy and turned 3, and that was about my highlight. Oh, and I overtook M3 guy on the last lap, on the last corner of the race.
Yeah.
From 9th, I think I got in the end. That was about it. That was my race. Jake, would you like to comment on your race in Fuji?
No.
No comment.
Alright, then I will comment on Jake's race in Fuji. Alright, what was after Fuji? It was Monza.
I was going to make a comment about Fuji, but okay.
Oh, well, we'll comment on Fuji then.
I was just going to say, it was kind of an interesting race, but I personally thought it was a bit dull. I kind of just wrecked my tyres and I just got molested by Hobo every single corner. Nothing really happened in that race, apart from Jake.
You make molesting sound so casual.
It is casual where he's from. Anyway, Tay, would you...
That's behind. At Fuji was the highest position I ever finished, and it went downhill from there.
I was going to say Fuji really
Like
set
the
the
chat.
tone for how good the Subarus were. I think the two Subarus had a really good result in Fuji.
Do you remember after Fuji? Yeah, they
If it
finished
wasn't
4th and 5th, didn't they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and if it wasn't for Vitman getting first every time, we would have had constructors.
Excuse me, Vitman G got first 3 times. I counted it.
Yeah, but still, what was his lowest position?
Fifth, wasn't it?
Fifth. I think fifth twice.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, but you didn't get win. You didn't win every time.
Maybe he believes that you should have kept your drive up rather than just slowly deteriorate.
And also, the last 2 races were just not mine, but we'll get to those.
I was gonna say, do you remember when we all thought that Subarus were going to be contenders for the Constructors' Championship?
Well, we were.
Well, you were, but you didn't win it though, did you?
But by quite some
Fuck you.
Miraculously, we at Volkswagen came home in third in the constructor. I don't even know how that happened. Anyway.
Alright,
It
let's
was
just get the
because
Monza. I
of
wasn't
Mellon's
there.
Yewtree team
Okay.
race win and podiums.
Monza.
Always consistent midfield wins.
Nike Donna's saying that he didn't race Fuji, so moving swiftly on to Monza. Comments on Monza?
Track.
Can anyone remember anything about Monza? Because I don't.
No, because
Hey, bottling it.
Yeah. I mean, wait, can we just have that as a highlight as every race?
What?
Me and Lexus team maker of teams.
What? No, just me bottling it. That's the entire summary of season 5.
I mean,
As
Mellon
well,
got
I was-
pole, but I do not remember anything of Monza. Apart from that, it was May's first win, and we all thought May was going to be a title contender.
It was maybe okay.
May won the race, and we all thought he was going to contend for the championship with Hitman G, and that didn't exactly happen. Any other?
Basically, what I remember was like that was the first time at Monza that I realised, because I hadn't done much testing with the car before. That was the first time I realised that the car was always capable of one stops at nearly every track, and that like I don't think. Bit of an ambitious one, but had it not been for that race at Monza, I don't think this season we would have had the effective strategies that I did.
I genuinely do not remember much about the Monza race, so...
Yeah, no, it was a little boring.
May
I
says
I won't go boring.
it wasn't the most boring
Oh,
race. It was an
no, it
alright
was
race, I
boring
just
to me.
don't really remember much of it.
It was boring as hell for me, so I obviously found myself at that.
It's
As
like
I
every
always
race.
do. Yeah, exactly.
He's got a point. Mayor says my title challenge flopped like Vettel's, to be honest. He did.
Good description.
Alright, so what was
That's
after
what you
Monza?
want.
We went back to Japan for Suzuka. Comments
I
on
wasn't in
Suzuka.
the
Oh
race.
boy! Oh boy!
I actually had a decent race in Suzuka, which surprised me because usually I don't do too well around there, and I was not expecting anything special from there, and then I actually did quite well. Because I remember...
Everything was going well until Dunlop. And then Dunlop happened.
Also, Vitman G found himself on the victory again.
Do 2 stops without 1 stop, sorry, without losing my tyre to the start.
In fairness, that one stop I reckon would have worked if I hadn't picked up like a 9-second penalty from the chicane earlier and had to serve immediately.
And also binned it on last lap, I'm just saying.
Yeah, that probably would have happened either way, but...
Now I'm trying to think, was it before Monza
I
or before
wasn't
Suzuka
there.
when the new VOP changes came in?
It was before Monza. I remember because we
Okay.
did testing for Monza before the update, and we were looking quite quick. And then suddenly the update, and I was just miles off the pace in Monza. I did not enjoy that Monza race. In fact, that was the only
that
race. In
1%
fact,
increase in weight with Suzuka. Suzuka. Subaru.
Monza's. I remember the Monza race is the only race where I actually went down a position in relation to where I started the whole season. Just thought I'd put that out there.
I think I finished down in
Let's see
every
how many
race.
positions you lost off the line before turn 1.
Yeah, well, it's comparison to where I finished, not where I was at turn 1, because that was last on
I
pretty
know,
much
so
every
I'm saying that's
race.
very good fact that like you can't such a terrible start, but you can pick up still.
So, anyway, Suzuka, I did that. I think I overtook 3 cars going in a 130. Well, between 130R and the chicane, I overtook Sissy, Squeakers, and I think was it M3 guy. I think I overtook all 3 of them in pretty much one move. That was good. That was probably
That
my.
was after. Was that before? Was it before Spoon or after the S's?
It was
130R.
130R. Just after Spoon.
Oh, so yeah, after Spoon, yeah.
I think it was lap 1 as well.
Actually, I think what I knew something happened at Spoon. Oh, that's right. Squeakers had a, or no, not Squeakers. There was someone else who had a little lag spike and was sitting me off to the sandcastles.
MP3 go with me? Or...
I want to say it's him because I remember I was stuck behind him the whole entire race. And me and Squeakers were having a good side-by-side battle through the S's. Then kind of the same thing happened. We kind of turned into each other, and I was the victim. Good battle though, anyway.
Dumb place I'll take for sure.
Hey, at least I had the balls to do it.
Alright, ladies.
Alright, anyway, would anyone else like to comment on anything that happened in Suzuka, near or around Suzuka? Anything?
Well, let's just say it's very painful for it to be a favourite track and you just completely mess up.
Not to be, I don't want to make excuses because Bitman, you fully deserve that win from what I'd done. But just before Dunlop, when Bitman overtook me, in his attempt to try and minimise the time lost in case he made a mistake, I actually put my brake bias all the way back to try and maximise turning. And I don't know if that contributed to it because I did feel a bit of a kick. I just remember, a bit of a kick before Dunlop. So I don't know if that contributed, but something I probably should have done that.
Vitman, some words from you, considering you won the race?
Yeah, for Suzuka for me was last second pole lap. I think I got across the line with like a second to go, or 2 seconds, and then I picked, I think, Night Donna. So that was the first thing, and then for some reason, in that race, I think 4 cars went off right in front of me at Spoon. Just as I caught them up, they just all got out of my way. So yeah, it seems that people wanted me to win that race or something.
That qualifying was amazing. I remember seeing that.
Oh, you know, because I was
milliseconds in it.
I was
literally because. Sorry, go on.
I was in a party with Nike Donna, and I distinctly remember him going, "Oh yes, that's it, we've got pole." And then, literally, just as qualifying ended, he's like, "Oh no, Vitman's beaten me."
Then he started saying he cheated because you did it after the time, even though if you actually did it, you were just 1 second within the time or something.
It was
close. Ridiculous.
The thing is as well, I didn't think I had time to get round, so I was just dawdling, and then I looked and I realised I had to really pick the pace up, just made it, and then it weren't a great lap, but I gained like 3/10 in the last sector, and picked him. I think it was like less than half a tenth or something, I think. Yeah. So that won me the race, because if I'd have started 4th with the starts of that Mazda, I don't think I would have won like I did with the 2-stop. So yeah, I was pretty pleased with that one.
Next race,
What was after Suzuki? Oh no.
Sunny Sao Paulo.
Which is Robo's teammate's first win.
Yes, let's start with the highlights of that race. Let's start with the good things of that race. Yes, so Melon won the race, which was good on him, and I could have done better.
Yes.
I don't remember much of Interlagos.
Oh, I remember everything of Interlagos.
I wouldn't say the Melon part was the highlight race. I would say Racer's comeback from last.
Yes, that's a good point.
Yeah.
That were a good drive from the
honest,
instant of the back.
There, I'm not sure. I kind of just zoned
I think
out
you were
and
trying. You were trying to take.
down.
You were trying to take a shortcut at the start of the race. I swear down. You got knocked off, and you were just trying to cut the complete corner.
Me and Squeaks had an unavoidable like coming together. Like it was going to happen anyway. I had a little bit of a twitch on the car.
I had an
to take
unavoidable
escape
coming
road.
together.
I tried slowing down since the game wouldn't reset me on the escape road. I would have waited until I was back down in position. But the game decided apparently it didn't want it. So reset, and from there another a lap after another confrontation, which this time wasn't viable.
I think you were just lucky not to like take the escape road in the game, but like there you go, 60.5 second penalty.
Yeah, I suppose so.
This was the race where Robbo decided he wanted to do my pit strategy.
Right, so I had 2 incidents in that race. I had one with Ninja, which was a bit stupid. I came out
at that moment.
I know it was going well, and then I went to the inside of Ninja, and then he kept squeezing me coming out of turn 4, and I got onto the grass, and for some reason kept my foot to the floor on the throttle, and just completely lost it.
It was such a savable accident that you didn't do right.
And then there was the one with Raiden, which ended in disaster on the Discord.
Talk about the ugliest moment.
Yeah. It was sort of. It was sort of this. The thing is, after Interlagos, I had an argument with about half the people in the IGTL on the Discord. After Interlagos, I swear there was every race, and I just ended up having an argument with someone. So,
I just stood out of that. I just watched it and grabbed some popcorn.
Yeah, I can imagine. You know, because from my point of view, I went to go into the pits, and that's when Raiden decided he thought he was going to go down the inside, because that was ever a good idea. Anyway, moving on. What was after Interlagos with Maggiore? Maggiore.
Oh boy, Maggiore.
Only thing I remember in that one was being overtaken around the outside by Squeakers. That's literally the only thing I remember from that race for me.
I have not pleasant memories of this one.
Oh yeah, you were.
Bullshit pit team were being bribed by the other team with G Racing to underfield.
Oh yeah, no, I tell a lie. I remember my three-way battle right at the end where I had both Squeaky Buttocks scissors on the back of me. It came like to the end and we were all fighting for that. It was like either 8th or 7th or something. But we were all fighting for position. It was me, you, and Crazy Buttocks.
You squeezed me. Our game gave me a 15
I didn't squeeze you. You went around the outside and you chose to cut the corner. Okay. You chose to cut the corner.
What I remember from that race was just like one of the best 6-3 whatever that battle it was the best battle I've had in my GTL, hands down.
Who was it with?
Yeah,
that the one with it?
Side for most of it, wasn't it?
Yeah, me and Tay lap 3 to 6. Yeah, side by side, pretty much half the time. Yeah, that was my best battle of the season as well.
That's the best battle of any season I've had. That is hands down amazing.
It was such a shame that the fuel stop went like it did, because we were gonna come out literally together again, and it could have been like that for the next 6 laps.
Yeah, because the thing is, you had the pace there. I'm not the man. Like you had much pace in that, but
there are very few tracks where Vintman.
Maggiore is probably my favourite track, so yeah.
Probably my most hated track on that calendar.
I gotta say, it's probably my least favourite track in the game. Oh no, except from Big Willow. This is my second least favourite track.
Big Willow's good, you're just psychopathic.
You're just bad.
Big Willow should have been the
I'm not a fan of Willow.
Raiden, get good. Race Big Willow.
Yeah, there we go.
Again, I can't remember.
You know, I'm about 7 tenths slower than you everywhere. You need to
Actually, no. One thing I also remember, I think Maggiore was Jake's first ever overtake when he overtook Foxy. And you got... not as much as you know, but you also got, I think, Jake, you got into like 7th at the start as well. You had, I remember you had a really good start, and then it just went wrong somewhere, and then you overtook Foxy.
Oh, I was about to say, what do you mean Jake's first overtake? He overtook like 8 cars on Fuji.
That's a fair point. He also sent one into next year.
Doesn't really count. It's okay if you can overtake like 8 cars if you don't finish with sending Tay to the moon.
I'd say that was just a bonus.
Bonus point for hitting the bullseye on Tay.
To be fair, he actually hit Sissy. Tay was actually collateral damage. No, he actually didn't technically hit Tay, because on the replay, I'd have hit Sissy, which then sends Sissy into Tay. So technically, Jake didn't actually make contact with Racer Tay.
If we had real life damage on that, I can't believe
Racer Tay was just collateral damage.
I'm sorry, if Racer wasn't on the left, I'd been sent to the heavens.
Exactly, that's a good point. So, Tay, it's your own fault for putting yourself there. Otherwise,
you both.
Sissy would have gone for
racing.
Yeah,
in fact, if none of you were there, Jake could have sent himself to the moon.
Yeah.
That would have been quite
even better.
To launch himself off the other end of the track. Anyway, we're getting backtracked here. What was after Maggiore?
Red Bull Ring.
Red Bull Ring.
My first, not
that
last
race I cannot That race I couldn't like battle. I just couldn't hold a position. Like every time, every person that was behind me, they just went past me.
Better known for me, Red Bull Ring was better known as the Foxy incident.
Yeah.
It's time for argument.
Yeah, that's the only reason why I didn't come last, is because of Foxy.
Even with the existence of the Maggiore race, Red Bull Ring was the most disappointing finish this season.
Let's see, you finished...
Tay finished second. Oh. No, Tay finished second. By like ridiculous amounts.
My bad.
I'm gonna say you finished second by a ridiculously small margin to May, who got his second win. At this point, Vitman G was miles ahead in the championship, and in fact, you were in contention to win the championship at Red Bull Ring.
I think Vitman could have won the whole thing. I believe at Red Bull Ring.
He did win the whole thing.
It was? I thought that was at...
No, May won the race.
Oh, right, sorry.
I was thinking by points wise, Vitman could have won the whole thing by points, but what the hell ever.
He could have done, but he didn't, because May won the race and Vitman G didn't do too well, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, he got 5th, it looks like. Yeah.
You don't have to speak on his behalf.
Oh,
He's
wait.
in the party.
Yeah, I also got another incident.
I got taken out at the first bend and then had damage.
Oh yeah, Colm.
So I dropped down from... I can't remember where I qualified. 2nd or 3rd, and then I think
you qualified at the start because there was a huge crash right off the start, wasn't there? Because Colm just decided to do a jerk.
Me.
No, Colm just tried to do a jerk, didn't he?
Colm hit me.
No, Colm hit a lot of people in that race.
I remember doing another, like, the same thing as Fuji on the less scale.
Yeah, it was less contact, but still took like 2 people out.
Yeah.
I remember looking at it, the stewarding on it.
I remember in Red Bull Ring I qualified 14th, and the only person I beat in qualifying was Jake, which, let's face it, is not hard. And then I finished 9th, so I went up sort of 5 positions, which was good. And as far as the Foxy incident's concerned, he decided, right, so I went to the inside to overtake him at turn 1, and then he thought he'd turn across into me at turn 1, and then he spun on the exit, and somehow he thought that was my fault because he was thinking of something completely different.
Which then made Fox's race like worse because he kept crashing.
Yep, pretty much.
I think Red Bull Ring, for me, when that was the race that I realised, hang on, one stopping every single race is the way to go from now on.
Yes, because you were leading by quite a margin, and then suddenly something went wrong.
No, I did a 2-stop, and then that...
I was gonna say, because I remember you leading by quite a margin, and then suddenly not leading. So, what was after Red Bull Ring? It was Dragon Trail, I do believe.
Oh, Dragon Trail!
Alright, let's start with the obvious thing that came from Dragon Trail. Raiden, you won the race, how did you feel?
That was a hollow victory. Coming over the crest of the S's on the last lap and watching Mike fly off the track was interesting.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Yes, but you were also, and when I worked it out, that was when you entered the season, I said full time, but you were your actual team entry at that point. And that was also the first time a Ferrari had ever been in the IGTL, and it won.
Yeah, but it was just pure luck though.
It was pure luck that you won. One race win, 1 podium, and 2 races, which is for him. Yeah, and Hobo Franks is saying that Nike should have won. So Vitman G, that was also the race where you won the championship with 1 race to go.
Yeah, that's the one that clinched it. For me, I think the 2-stop could have won that one, but I actually made a big mistake. When I was overtaking you, Robbo, I went bouncing
Oh
across
yeah, no,
the
I
curbs
saw
and off
that.
of the, yeah.
Well, obviously
that
I
cost
saw
me
that.
like
You were trying to
4 or
overtake
5
me.
seconds, which so possibly could have caught Night Donner anyway, but then we had the cone incident. So that was that.
No, because what happened is you and Raiden pitted, and you were behind Raiden, but you had to overtake me because Raiden was already in front of me. And I'm thinking, right, Vintman's trying to catch up to Raiden. You went off, and you're like, why did you try to overtake there? You've just thrown away a red win.
Space as well. There was so
I
much
know.
space
I left you the
just
room. It's just, it was just a simple case of, I think Vintman's just thrown away a race win here.
Yeah.
But you still wrapped up the title. So yeah, the IGTL's first ever double world champion. Let's see if you can get your third then this season. But that's getting ahead of ourselves. Also, that race had a cameo appearance from my dad.
Oh yeah.
Yep. And he made the best ever crash at the post.
Yeah.
I remember on that race actually, when I was doing the video, I was going through some of the replays, and Squeaks on the first lap, going into turn 4, he was just bouncing along the sand.
Oh yeah, no, I saw it because
that
was right in front of me that happened.
And then when I save it, Tay just drifts into the room of my car, and it happens again.
Yeah.
I got penalised to go in that wide as well.
That happened in front of me because
I thought that had to go in the video.
I got a decent start, and I was behind Squeaks at the point that it was doing that it was bouncing around all over the place. And I think I got to like 6th at the start. I qualified 11th, I got to 6th, and then I had the bus stop chicane, and then Nike put me further in the wall. Which was a bit disappointing. So, any other comments on Dragon Trail then, anyone?
Let's just go. I can't be able to talk about Dragon Trail.
That leaves one last race then that we have, and that is Catalunya.
Don't bring back the horrible memories of Catalunya.
It's funny you should mention that because we're watching you as we speak on the stream.
Oh, and I've had another incident!
I think that was the race where... what happened was that me and Jake came up with a plan to just dive bomb everyone into turn 1, and it did not go as well as planned.
Wait, no, yours did go. Mine went well in.
Yours went well in all the stuck checks.
Yours
we both,
didn't.
and then it came to the actual race. We both just charged down the inside. I regret nothing.
Yeah, it was glorious. If only it actually worked.
Well, because Mellog got spun round.
That was the race in which I truly realised. I knew the Ferrari was bad at Dragon Trail, and I got lucky, but that one there was when it really came to light how just bad that car is.
It was horrific for you, it really was.
I was really happy with the way my pole lap went. Like, I thought that was a really good lap.
Well, yeah, because you unmuted us all and just came and goes, oh, that was magical.
That was a good lap. I think it was like 7 or 8 tenths faster than me in second.
Yeah, I mean, admittedly you were in the Ferrari, but...
Not that it lasted long, because that start from the Porsche.
Yeah, and then obviously the position was regained, then I lost it again.
My Catalunya race was best remembered for not 1, but 2 incidents this time. Or 2 major, big incidents that
where you just decided you didn't want to brake.
3 incidents in that race.
That's the one you had where the sub-in for Frosty, which name I can't remember, you guys were going at it to the hairpin.
Yeah, and then Colm just thought, why not? He's just going to slam into the back of me. I ended up spinning off the track at turn 10. But the one that really annoyed me was the M3 guy won on lap 2.
And here comes another argument.
Ooh, the M3 guy instant really annoyed me there, because he basically, what happened was, I hit TNT hit me, I got going facing in the right direction, and he stopped so that, you know, he didn't get an advantage. And then M3 guy thought it'd be proper funny if he just didn't slow down, So, apparently he had no room to react, and so just came flying in, smashed me straight off beyond the Shadow Realm at turn 2, and I've fallen to the back, and M3 guy just continues on.
Well, I just find it funny how just like you said, I hit TNT and you suddenly chased on. I was like, no, TNT hits me.
No, I still
We
find it
hit
funny.
each other.
The best thing I know about Catalunya is me and Hobo had the best race, and Hobo led a lap.
Oh yeah, Hobo
that
Little.
one curve for me, that was just hilarious.
Oh, that
Hobo-
what that
Yeah,
chicane.
don't mind me just running T5, perfectly normal curb. I was
Yeah. Keep turning, go left and keep turning.
And then it was just me and Melon just comeback drive. Melon just absolutely obliterated everyone quite quickly. I was just
Oh yeah,
getting
Melon
everyone
had an
one by
incredible
one.
race. Also,
Yeah.
And then I feel
a
safe
bit
like
random.
hell.
That's
Now think about it. Oh, sorry.
that Colm incident toward the end of the race when I just got ploughed into. Apparently I braked too early, though in my opinion it's up for the driver behind to be aware that the driver in front might brake, you know, not at the same time as you. Just saying.
And also, Catalina, that's another thing. Like, I'm not mad or anything because that stuff's gonna happen. And also, Robo was going on the inside of me into the final chicane.
Oh,
Towards
yeah, that
right-hander, He kind of bumped me, and I took the escape road. Nothing happened to me, and I was about to go on the straight and slow down for him, but I noticed, oh,
I went into the pits.
I'm like, okay, free 2 seconds.
Oh yeah. Any other comments on the Catalonia video, or can we look forward to season 6 then?
Me and Vim and G had an interesting altercation. I think it was that 4 or 5, and Vic tried to overtake me, and it just all went to shit.
Yeah, sorry about that one. Yeah, outbreak myself.
No, to be fair, that one there, I could have left it a bit more room, so it like kind of was a weird one, but I just ended up in the sand.
Yeah, that cost me the chance of victory because then I waited and then went back behind you, and I think Colm got me as well. But then after that, we had a side-by-side moment round the last bend, and your Ferrari was twitching everywhere. I don't know how you were keeping it on the track, and I was next to you, man. It was quite epic.
Yeah, that was that was awful. It's just awful, that entire race.
So it went all the way to red, didn't they? Your rears?
The rear left did, yeah, pretty much just all red. There's just nothing left.
I just remember 458, its tyres.
Oh
It
god,
wasn't
yeah.
just that though, it's the fact that even once that 458 gets a little bit of tyre wear, at that point it's impossible to drive it. It's not like the difference between half tyre wear and no tyre wear is nothing. It's just as soon as it starts wearing its tyres, it gets impossible.
Sounds a bit like the Lambo. I tried that the other night, and after about 2 laps, that felt like that as well.
Maybe it's just Italy, the
Those
top like,
Italians are up to something.
But in real life, Ferraris aren't like that. They do really well in GT racing.
So that's because that's the 448A, not the 458.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. It's an old generation GT3 car, isn't it?
Right, okay. Well, yeah, of course.
Where you say that racing. I'm sorry, I'm on with stupid shit.
So also, Sissy, right at the end as well, I was catching up to you. Oh, that one, yeah. You were still battling with Hobo. He came around that hairpin at the end of the lap and spun. Just before I could overtake you, the race ended.
Yep. Because someone in here left it on 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Everyone
you
looks
should be
at
thanking me
Squeak
for
on
not
the
losing a
table.
shitting position, actually.
So then, next season then. Thoughts, predictions, anything for next season?
It's going to be close. It's going to be 5 or 6 drivers, I think, going for it. It's going to be mental.
Oh, one.
Yeah,
Ooh! Oh, speaking of predictions, Hobo's the only one that came true.
Who's? Mine? I know.
No,
Mine
yeah,
was the
Robo.
only. Mine was the only
Robos.
prediction that we made that actually came true throughout the whole season. I was going to mention that. Thanks for mentioning that. But yeah, no. So mine was the only one out of all of us that actually came true in the end, which was impressive.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, you're racing it. No, you're not racing next season.
True, but Pittman saved it.
My predictions though for who's gonna win, it's probably gonna be between Raiden, Vitamin G, Tay, and I think May could come back this season.
I'm gonna be ballsy.
Ray is streaming.
So then.
Yeah, I don't think May's racing this season.
Is it not?
Ah, okay. So completely unbiased then, who's going to win the Drivers' Championship in Season 6?
Right.
No pressure or anything.
Yeah, right, pressure's on now. Gee, I'm gonna bottle every race.
That's not saying I'm gonna give it easy, but like I do think.
I can genuinely see a 4-way title fight this season.
Very much so.
And if Fitman wins again, it'll be what?
It's
3
3.
times?
The thing is, I don't know if you two have been thinking about this, but there's more at stake between Raiden and Vitmanji because they're also competing to be on top of all the records.
Okay.
Like, I'm not even joking. On every Group 3 record, it's either you or Vitmanji that's on top.
I don't know. My prediction for this season though is I don't know who's going to win, but the last race I reckon is going to come down to about 3 or 4 drivers at the last race.
I know, it should be good this
I
season.
hope that's true as well.
Yeah, I can bottle it on track limits again.
So, we've all said that they think there's going to be 3 or 4, but who are these 3 and 4 people?
Raiden, Axel.
Only
Vitamin
time will
Axel.
tell.
I'm just
Vitamin
gonna say
Axel.
Vitamin Axel and JPS at the moment. The other 4 or 5 vary.
Anyone else? Who else do we think is going to be in the title fight this season?
I think.
Ooh, Nike.
That's what
I
I think Nike's a bit of a
I
dark
actually
horse.
completely forgot about
Yeah.
Nike.
Nike, yeah. Almost went in front of his home crowd if it wasn't for a damn cone.
I know, at least... It's almost like you're watching my videos.
No, I'm not, actually.
No, I think Knight's a really quick driver, but he's quite it's not his fault, but he's quite unreliable with his game for some reason with his system. He gets stuck on the grid a lot. I have no idea why.
Squeaks. So then, if you remember for last season we all made our predictions, we're all going to do the same, just a prediction that isn't obviously going to be true, so you can't just say Vitmanji's going to win a race, or Tay's going to bottle it.
Something that's stupid yet plausible.
There we go, what he
Tay's
said.
gonna win his first race.
So then,
Tay's not gonna bottle it.
alright then, so, what are all our predictions? Give me a minute, because I'm going to write them down and we're going to come back to them at the next season, so...
Even I doubt that.
Alright, one at a time. Robo, call it out.
Alright, listen, shh. One at a time. Who's first? Who wants to go first? Who's got a prediction ready? Okay. Okay, so Axel says Mercedes, Merc, 1, 2. Right, who's next? Anyone else?
Actually, I may be biased saying this because no one ever sees it. I see myself in my NSX getting a podium.
Okay, so Sissy biases himself to get a podium.
Raw.
Hey,
By the way, actually, it's
you'll
not.
be on the podium. You'll be on the podium, but you'll I think you'll kill yourself at T1 at Topless.
Okay, Sissy kills himself at the Topless. Got it, Tay?
What, does he just hang himself or something?
What?
No, because Racer thought he'd get a win this season because Robo made predictions. What happens?
Alright then, who's next to make a prediction? I've got Axel, Sissy's and Tay. Oh, by the way, so Axel, is that your prediction for the championship or just in one race is going to be a Mercedes one? First race? Oh god. Okay, any race.
Nah, first answer. Not a lucky first answer.
Nah, it's fine. I'll put it down for any race.
God damn it.
Alright then, so who's next? Raiden, what's your prediction for the season?
My prediction is going to be that Racer Tay is going to be leading a race and he's going to run out of fuel.
Tay to run out of fuel in the lead. Raiden.
Because I know what that Subaru is like on fuel and it's not great. But it's
and then I will quite literally kill myself.
What'd you say, Blake? Sorry, guys.
No one cares, Blake.
Right, so who's next? We've got... I'll go next. I'm going to say that there's going to be... I'm going to change my ideas. I'm going to say Racer Tay will win a race this season.
I'm intentionally proving you wrong.
Tay, you got to...
I'm not going to win a race.
Tay, you got to remember the fact
make
that...
his fuel run out.
Actually, no, I'm going to change it. I'm going to say 4-way title fight because we're not sure about Tay. Alright, who's next? We've got Axel, Sissy, Tay, Raiden, Robbo. Who's next? We just need Vitman and Jake.
Yeah,
Vitman, what's your prediction?
One for you. I predict that every race will be won with a one-stop strategy this season.
Every race?
Yeah, everyone.
Oh, that's a brave one.
Yeah.
Someone's gonna be so far out and have done a one-stop and they're just gonna be like, do you know what? Might just pit in again. Just quick change of tyres, just pits in just to make that two-stop.
It's a bold one, but I'm just sticking with it.
Alright then. Jake, we just need yours now.
I feel that's the most plausible.
Oh, and Squeaks, I forgot about Squeaks.
I'd say there's going to be a massive crash.
Massive crash.
God.
Like, worse than my Fuji.
Well, I don't know about that. Alright, we now just need one from
Jake's saying that
Squeaks.
someone's going to get their first ever IGTL race ban, I think.
Okay,
Yep.
first race ban.
And it might be me if I reserve.
Wait, there's
so
never
you
been a
know.
race ban in IGTL?
The idea's
Well,
only
there's been
recently come
there's
into
been a
it.
season ban, but let's not talk about that. Or a lifetime ban, actually.
We've banned a Lexus once. I mean, we've banned a car before.
Yeah.
Alright, so
Lexus
now we
ain't it?
just need one from Squeakers. If he's even still here. I'll take that as a note Squeaks is not here, so we'll get something off him at some point.
Alright,
So-
everyone, we are sad to announce the tragic death of the Squeakers.
Alright, so just a quick run through.
Shameless and
Oh, here we go. Here we go. I can't not laugh when it's
I'm sorry. Put up the mic.
Oh.
oh no.
The thing is, it wasn't even that funny. But then Sissy
No,
started
it's the
laughing.
fact that yeah.
And then Sissy just
like
started with this
sleeping.
really high-pitched laugh.
Hello, Deshaun.
sorry, I sound like a girl!
Hey,
Don't start. I'm gonna say the scene again.
Anyway,
Oh, no.
moving
No,
swiftly
no.
on.
Who said what?
Alright,
Moving
alright,
swiftly
carry
on.
on,
Right.
We're
We're getting off track here. So just a quick
Next
run
topic.
through.
Oh shit.
Axel says that Mercedes will get a 1-2 at any race. Sissy says that he will get a podium. Tay says that Sissy kills himself at turn 1 in Autopolis. Very specific. Raiden says that Tay's to run out of fuel from the lead. I say that there's going to be a 4-way title fight. Vimanji says that every race will be won with a one-stop. Jake says that there was going to be a race ban. Squeaks has died. So, of those, who do you think is the most likely to be true?
Mine.
Interesting.
I think Robbo's. I hope Robbo's.
Thing is, I got the prediction right last time, and all of you got yours wrong. So, just saying.
Wait a minute.
I mean, half of us that are doing this now didn't do a prediction, but the point is, I predicted that Tay wouldn't win a race in the season, and he didn't, although it came very close. I could say that's what I mean, it came very close for him winning. I was nervous for most of some of the race, especially Dragon Trail and Magyar, I think, was on Suzuka. I was very nervous, hoping that he wasn't gonna. That does not make me sound like I'm a nice person, does it? Anyway.
Not really.
I tell you what, one thing I don't think anyone's discussed yet is the everyone's sort of own highlight of the season, the whole season in total. What was like the best point in the season?
Going into the speed of light into Turn 1 of Fuji.
That was your highlight, was it?
literally going into the Shadow Realm. Like,
to be fair, I am surprised that none of your predictions was that I'm gonna have an argument with about half the IGTL field.
We know that's gonna happen.
Well, you said not obvious ones.
yeah, it's supposed to be not obvious.
Yeah, everyone thinks I'm not gonna win with the I-6, so why the hell not?
Anyway,
Stop being optimistic, you're the only optimistic one here.
I'm going to make.
Why not? I love a challenge. Why does everyone think the NS6 will not do crap?
Because it is!
And do you think I gave a shit?
Yes! You should.
No.
I'm going to make you want to kill yourselves.
No, and speaking of the damn,
I can't. Feel bad.
I lost
Another
the word
thing
in my head, but the prediction. Whoever's prediction was I kill myself at Autopolis, why so specific?
Autopolis.
D1 Autopolis is
because Turn 1 is just horrific at Autopolis.
But why me?
because you're an easy target, pretty much.
I'm the target in a martini livery.
Yes.
Yeah, and you're all the target of this.
Your martini weeb Playboy livery.
I'm the Playboy.
That's a good point. That's something we've not mentioned, and throughout talking about season 6, it is an individual championship, so there's no more teams. Everyone is running their own liveries, their own championships. A couple of predictions from people that are watching. Colm says that Squeaks to make up more than 8 places on a race start, and Fraggin says that he'll finish top 5 at some point.
Bold.
Interesting.
Okay, I'm sorry. That's a bit of a dick. That's a bit of a dick way to say that, to be honest.
So then, I think we shall be closing to wrapping this up soon. Is everyone okay with that? Any other thoughts they'd like to add as we build up to season 6 to begin next week?
Shut up! No, we're not doing this.
Yes, we are. Alright.
No, I disagree.
Quickly, we need to wrap it up. We need to quickly wrap it up. Come on then.
Well, then you have to kick yourself, Racer.
Shut the fuck up!
This is turning very hostile.
You know, whatever. We'll do this after the stream.
Oh dear God.
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
I'm thinking after the stream he called me a weeb when he's a weeb himself. Rin.
Alright, okay, so on that note and on that terrible disappointment, this is the end.
Back to the tent. No! It's fucking tombstone. Oh my God.
I think the thing is, right, okay, subscribe to Robber Racer if you haven't, goodbye, good night!